that wasn't great enough for a career, imagine being recruited away from NASA by the Pentagon. Roger answered their request, spent years at the Pentagon, and during both of those careers, Roger started doing his own personal deep dive into health and nutrition. But as you might expect with that intellect, he didn't take the pharmaceutical route, the chemical route. Roger looked at things provided by nature, the synergy when things are combined and the greater good that comes from that. And he took his knowledge, his expertise, and his success, brought it all here to MoreMito and planted his flag. He runs our company. He is our CEO, and we're blessed that that's the case. And we're also blessed by the fact that he partnered with a brilliant research scientist named Dr. Bevan Elliott. Dr. Bevan, we call him the pride of Clemson, has not just created incredible products, he's created a delivery system that makes them absolutely powerful. It's the delivery system, XDS. The delivery system is what allows our ingredients to not get through your cell walls, but deeper through the walls of your mitochondria. We actually increase your mitochondria. We're the only product line that does it, and that has a huge impact on what can be achieved with these products. Look, they're unique. They're one of a kind. It's not me versus those guys. There are no other those guys. You only get them from our company and these products. Look, you run out, you get them from us. People get them from you. That's why we're on this call. To hear more about all of this, I'm going to turn the call over now to our CEO, Roger Hill. Roger, are you there?
Good to be with you, Dale.
Get your pens and your note.
Great to hear your voice. You're coming through strong and clear.
And something to drink.
All right. It's so good to be with so many of you as well, calling us from or joining us from around the world. Every week, we do a health and wellness call with a different topic. Various weeks previously, we've done things on your immune system. We did a series on your organ health, like your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, all of that. And today, though, we're going to be talking about how to have amazing gut health, better mobility, and lower the risk of arthritis, fibromyalgia, IBS, and other autoimmune consequences. There's a connection there we're going to explore today. But before we get into all of that, let me introduce you to us, especially if you're new. By now, you might know that we're a nutraceutical partner since 2015, created. I think it's actually pioneering a new healthier. Here's how he wants to go about it. He wants to increase the amount of energy produced. Why does he want to do that? Simple. Everything takes energy. You know, like if I go in your house right now and I start turning down that current, you know what would happen. Your lights would start to dim, your malfunctions, and your appliances will start to malfunction at some point, and ultimately they will stop working altogether, okay? So that's kind of analogous to what happens in your body as you go through life. There's a component in your cell, mitochondria. Let me tell you a little story about that. You start out early in life with a lot of, that's why kids have all that energy that, you know, they run everywhere, they do all this physical stuff that we stop doing as we get older, right? Think about it. When was the last time you ran up steps? Okay. When's the last time you ran anywhere? All right. Kids do it all the time because they got so much mitochondria. But again, as you go through life, you tend to lose them for a lot of reasons. Maybe things you encountered in the environment. Maybe disease you had. Some medications kill mitochondria too. Anyway, by the time you're 60, typically you will have lost half of that mitochondria you had in your youth. By the time you're 80 or 90, you'll be down to 5 or 10%. Now, what's happening while that's going on? Your body isn't working as well. How can it as you're losing that energy? And you notice things like people not seeing as well as they get older, you know, reading the fine print or maybe needing to wear glasses when they didn't wear it before, getting a stronger prescription if they did, right? How about that strength and stamina? About 45 or 50, most of us have figured out we're not spring chickens anymore, right? That's because of that loss of mitochondria once again. And how about how your body manages its systems like your blood pressure, your blood sugar? How about your weight? All those, the challenges you have with managing all of those is related to the lack of mitochondria that you had in your youth once again. And certainly, as you get older, you don't want to have a bad disease or have an accident or something like that because our immune systems tend not to be as strong. Maintaining our immune system is an energetic process. It has to be. So if you don't have as much energy, how can it possibly work as well? Okay, how can you avoid things or get over things as well on dramatically less energy? It doesn't happen. So Dr. Elliott's premise is if we can grow back these mitochondria, something no one else had done, right, then we can begin to show health benefits that no one else has ever gotten. And that's exactly what has happened. And we explore this as we go through these different topics every week. He put all this technology, it's called XDS, stands for Exponential Delivery System. It's how he reorganized the molecules of all these ingredients you see on the ingredient list so that they don't just get in the cell or into the bloodstream, but really all the way into the mitochondria, where all this magic that we're going to talk about can actually happen. The product line he put it in is called UltraMito, as an Ultra Mitochondria. That's what Dale's going to come back and talk to you about. Dale.
Thank you, Roger. Listen, everybody, the first product I want to mention is called Rejuvenate. It's our topical cream. It's for your skin from head to toe. You put it in your hair. You massage it into your scalp, and it does what it does because it doesn't just sit on your skin. It soaks through your skin, soaks down deep to the bone. Listen, it helps with anything affecting your skin from a scratch, a scrape, a cut, a bump, a mole, a blemish. We've got testimonials about the huge impact it's had on severe varicose veins or on stretch marks or on cellulite. And again, it works like it does because of the way it soaks down and reaches every part of your body. Look, it helps with your muscles, your joints, your tendons, your back joints, your knees, or your hands. And if you or anybody you know has a condition in your hands or your feet that can start as tingling and become incredibly severe, you're going to find that Rejuvenate becomes your go-to product for everything I just mentioned and more. Listen to the testimonials in the back office. The uses are astounding. Next, I want to talk about Restore 3.0. It's our first third-generation product, and Dr. Bevan has truly created something incredible using a base of two ancient superfoods, olive oil with olive leaf and black seed. They've both been used for thousands of years because of the benefits they provide to the human condition. They mention olive oil in the Bible. Black seed was found when they opened King Tut's tomb. But Dr. Bevan takes several elements and uses them in a unique way. With olive oil, he takes several elements and uses them to tune up and detoxify your cells while increasing your mitochondria. Now, listen, that's the secret. That's the unique to us thing. That's our name, MoreMito, short from mitochondria. Dr. Bevan found that when we can increase the mitochondria in your body back to a younger age, then your body starts to work the way it should, the way it used to, the way it did before life and the environment started tearing your body down. And he uses black seed to increase your energy, but it's cellular energy. It's steady. It's strong. There's no jitters. It's not like a big high with caffeine or sugar as an example, followed by a deep crash. Cellular energy is steady. Imagine being able to live life again on your terms. Do something, start a task and be able to finish it. Imagine the disappearance of brain fog or something strenuous like a bike ride, a long bike ride that has a short recovery time. That's what cellular energy does, gives you back control of grabbing a hold of life and living it to its fullest. And I've only mentioned 2 of the 44 ingredients Dr. Bevan has properly blended into Restore to create this incredible product. Listen, the blending, the proportions, that's important. Dr. Bevan will tell you if you take a handful of vitamins, you're lucky if a third aren't a complete waste, overpowered and canceled out by other things in that handful of vitamins. They have to be in the right proportion. And then the most critical thing unique to us is XDS, the thing that allows the ingredients to be used by your body like nothing it's ever used before. Next, I want to talk about Renew Brain and Body. It's our newest product. Dr. Bevan has some ingredients that he feels are critical to increase your mitochondria. They can't be delivered liquid base. So he created these tiny capsules with these additional ingredients. Renew Brain and Body stands on the shoulders of Rejuvenate and Restore to increase your mitochondria. It has a huge impact in the body, but we have discovered in the mind, in the brain, helps the firing of synapses, help the appearance of brain. Finally, some of the most important members of our family are the pets that we own. We were talking about that before the call started. So we've got dogs that have become lethargic, can hardly walk up and down. If you've got a cat that's hacking up fur balls and shedding, suffer all the time because of all the bad things in our environment. We put chemicals on the rug to clean them, and cats and dogs are closer to those. The things we put on the lawn to make it grow. And listen, they're allergic to a lot of the same things we are. Our pets suffer. And you can have a pet come back to normal for them. A dog comes back to puppy stage, runs around, plays fetch. Cats are kittens again if you increase their mitochondria. We have a special product called Petlife that does just that. And the thing I love about pets, there's none of this fake, and if there's none of this, gee, I think I kind of feel better. You see it happen to an animal quickly. There's no placebo effect. So 4 products: Rejuvenate, Restore 3.0, Renew Brain and Body, and Petlife. There is nothing like what these products can do. And to hear more about that, I'm going to turn the call back over to our CEO, Roger. Roger, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Dale. Okay. We are talking about how to have some really amazing gut health. Let me share something with you to kind of highlight how important your gut is, as if you didn't already know. Your body decided that what's likely to kill you is what you're going to consume and let come through your gut. How do we know that? Because it stations 70 to 80% of your immune system cells in and around your gut to keep that from happening. Okay? It's also critically important to how you feel about things. You ever heard this expression, you had a gut feeling? It did come from your gut. Your gut has so many neurons in it, they call it your second brain. And it communicates with your other brain through that vagus nerve. So we got to keep that healthy. I mean, your health is based on the health of your gut. It's so foundational. And that's what Dr. Dan Soloway and I have been talking about this week. We talked about it in relation to a lot of things, also like detoxification and whatnot. You know, Dr. Dan is a regular on the call. He's out of Oklahoma City, been in the field for decades, worked with a lot of professional athletes and celebrities that you would recognize. But he's on this call with us today. Dr. Dan, you take more stuff than anybody I know. So how come it was able to detox you? Talk to me, Dr. Dan.
Well, that's certainly been true most of my life. I take less now because I get so much out of the Restore product. I can't really, a lot of the stuff I take outside of what I take from MoreMito, I'm not sure that I could feel much from it. A few things, I take some extra S1 together, a few things I think I can feel in magnesium. But other than that, I really don't know if they're doing what I want them to do. But I do know that this product works. Now, detoxification. There's a man named Aubrey Gray, has long hair, big red beard. He's a medical doctor, medical researcher, and he has a team of people, and they study longevity. And they say the most important thing, how long you're going to live, is how well your cells are detoxifying. And the analogy I gave on my call just a few minutes ago is that let's say you only have enough energy, and I'm using mitochondria, remember, it's where your energy comes. If you only have enough energy to carry out 1 bag of trash, but you have 2 bags of trash in the house. And over a period of a few months, all that other bag that you have energy to carry out is now building up until your house is too toxic to live in. That's what's happening to your cells. As you get older and you don't have the energy, they get toxic and they die prematurely. Then the body tries to create a new cell and replace it. But that takes energy as well. But if your cells are clean, and that's why Aubrey Gray's group said this, if they stay very clean, they clean themselves out easily, and they don't have the damage done to it, they don't and they do their function the way it's designed. The function doesn't break down. So whether liver cell, brain cell, eye cell, heart cell, whatever they are, they're able to do what they were designed to do, but they can't do it in a toxic state. Now, the first time I was exposed to really a heavy detox was early on in my radio career, and it actually predated my radio. And around the same time, I started radio in '97, and I was introduced to a pretty powerful product, not as powerful as what we got, but a pretty powerful product. And I was told that I may go through a detox. I went, well, I've taken a lot of things to clean my colon and my liver and kidneys and all that stuff. Well, I took this product, and I started the next day. I was taking real heavy dosage. The guy that was introducing me really was overdoing it, but wanted me to feel it. I thought I had the flu. I get chills, and I need to lay down. I'd feel off. But in 20 or 30 minutes of laying down, I felt fine. I'd get up, and then it'd start again. And then aches and pains where I'd injured my shoulders and my middle of my back from weightlifting, they were hurting just like it does with the flu. And then in 2 or 3 days, all that went away. And I was able to do things in the weight room I hadn't been able to do in years because those crystals that stay in those injured areas were there. So when you go through a detox, you may feel worse before you feel it. That thing's on top of what we're giving you. The MoreMito is phenomenal on helping the body detox. And you may, I'm warning you this, generally speaking, people feel fabulous, but you could feel worse before you feel better if you have a lot of heavy metals and poisons, pesticides, and different things that are being stored away in the body and the fat cells and in the liver, and they need to come out. And if they come out, you may feel worse. But walking or anything that causes you to have to breathe heavy is going to help you detox. Steam bath, sweating, anything of that nature is going to help you detox. So those are all helpful. And there's things you can, herbal products that you can get off the shelf that help the colon move, help the liver clean, and all that. But nothing helps the cells clean like what we do. And when you clean the cells, you're going to live longer, you're going to have more energy, and you're going to, and your mood's going to be better. You're going to feel better. Because right now, you're more likely to have, if you're up there in the years, autotoxicity. You have poisons building up in your cells more than you can get rid of. So we're going to help rid of that. Back.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Dan. We are talking again about detox. So in my early conversations with Bevan, as we were working up to releasing the seed for so many people who use our technology as pertains to their gut. My best example of that is Kata Bay out of Memphis. Kata's been a vegetarian, super clean, goes to the bathroom, that actually able to put those toxins into motion and bring them out. You know, it's really great. I've seen that through any number of people that you would think wouldn't be detoxing, but he's detoxing seriously anyway. So let me let you benefit from that, and then we'll talk a little bit about it, about to hear Kata Bay, and then Dr. Elliott. Kata Bay, Memphis. Kata.
Hi, Roger. I'm just whole conversation, but I wanted to share something in conjunction with what Dr. mentioned about detoxifying your body, and you too. I'm a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian since about the 70s, and I've had the unusual benefit of my diet of not. I'm sorry. Know that the store is detoxifying the body. I noticed to work. And I feel like that once I get completely detoxified, I'll go back to better than I was before, and pride myself on having a very odorless evacuation, if I can say it that way. That's all I wanted to mention.
All right. Thank you for that, Kata. Would you care to comment on that?
Awesome testimonial. to kick me out. Guys, I apologize. I guess we have technical issues again today.
Reach the MoreMito conference line. The call will begin in a moment.
The conference is in presentation mode.
Your line is muted.
This call is being recorded.
Body that build up, especially your digestive system,
It's
your
Dr.
eliminatory
David
system,
Elliott. He
that
created the
just kind of
product.
hang out there. One of the things that Restore can help with is when there is any sort of inflammation in the smooth muscle cells. These are the cells that are on the inside of your arteries, on the inside of your gut, the intestines, all the way down. And when these are inflamed, for example, in the arteries, plaque can build up. In your intestines, food waste products can build up. In your digestive system, one neat thing that we're working with is black seed oil in Restore. And black seed oil, this is Nigella sativa, the Latin name for it. This particular active substances that are in black seed and black seed oil are very healthy for the gut, very healthy for the stomach, and help with that inflammatory load that sometimes still occurs even when you eat healthy. It helps your body overcome those chronic conditions. And when that happens, you start to eliminate things that may have been in there a while that you didn't know were in there. So it's not surprising to hear you say that, but we're gratified that you're seeing a good, healthy effect from this. And we're excited to hear in the future how that turns out.
That was our scientist that made the products. Dr.
Let me let you know what our process is. We don't attempt to diagnose, treat, or cure any diseases.
Changing lives.
What we want to do is restore your mitochondria regrowth, right? So now your body has energy to do everything better than it did before, fight harder against things it needs to fight, build things better it needs to build, right? And the first thing we've got to do to get this done is we got to get those toxins out of your cells. That's the first order of business when we talk about, rebuilding your cells. Raise that energy level, get the toxins out. Then we can repair those cell walls, and it turns out that olive oil components in it are perfect for doing that. You need lipids for that. You can't repair your cell walls with water because they're made out of lipids and proteins, right? So we get that process going, but it's also reestablishing a lot of communications. So a lot of us who are like, we got sleepy guts, so we're straight up constipated, you're going to get a dramatic result with that. It's just really, really wonderful when it comes to helping you be more comfortable. Now, you start seeing this when you go to the doctor and you get your checkups and they do the blood test and they see all this stuff happening. Mr. Fry, who's here in the Washington, D.C. area, Handy Randy Nation, shared with us what happened or what the results was with his blood test. I'll share that with you in a minute. And take note of the fact that he used to have polyps. Once he got on our technology, they went away. And I'll make a comment on that after you listen to it.
Well, you just got results back from your checkup. Please tell me about it.
Yes, I just got my blood work back. My cholesterol is 145, which is good. Anything below 200. My triglyceride is 56. My HDL is 50. My DLDLC is 87. They're saying that my blood DGB is 5.7. Anything between 4.0 and 6.0 is great. My HGB A1C is 57 in the same range, so it's normal. And so they're saying that all of my blood work and everything is normal. No prostate cancer, no prostate condition, abnormalities. I'm good. I'll be 78 this year.
It's great to be good. Sound like you're clean as a whistle.
Yes, that's what it sounds like. And that I had my colonoscopy, and the polyps that I have, I don't have anymore, and none of the symptoms of anything that I had before. with the gastritis or anything.
What was your blood pressure like?
My blood pressure, my wife had to tell me I have to be careful because now sometimes if not careful, it's 99/52.
Wow.
So I got to get off of some of this blood pressure medicine I'm on.
Okay, Mr. Bryce, thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome, Roger. Thank you for allowing me to have the opportunity to share. I love the Restore and Rejuvenate. It's working great.
Okay, so we have to detoxify you because the presence of those toxins encourages inflammation, and inflammation is the breeding ground for cancer, where stuff happening, and that's what polyps can turn into if you keep that environment toxic enough. It really encourages that. Okay, it also just it complicates the rest of the way your body is working. You might end up getting, say, high blood pressure because of something going on in your gut. All right, like Dan Dupay seems to have had that happening. I'm talking to Dan Dupay. Dan, tell me what your health concerns were before you met us that you were just telling me about.
Yeah, so I had this gut pain that I'd had for about 6 or 7 months, and I had lost energy, and I had several blood tests, and they said that, you're having some issues with your blood pressure, one thing, and then you're having some issues with your intestinal area, with your immune system, and you need to go have this checked out with the gastroenterologist. And that was about 6 or 7 months after this all started, and I had no energy to mow the grass or any of that, and I've been very active before, and this just came all of a sudden. It started by going to the dentist, and they took my blood pressure, and they said, wow, you're close to having a heart attack. You're 200/100, and I've never been on medication before, so they put me on blood pressure medication. And this was in October of 23, so I've been on 2 types of blood pressure medication. And then I started feeling a little bit better in the spring of this year. Well, I started on the Restore and the Rejuvenate. I kind of took that together, brushing my teeth with both of those, but I took it like 4 times a day. But since the middle of March, and I went to my doctor in May, and he said, because my blood pressure had stayed around 150/65, it's kind of my average now, but it had dropped into the teens. And so I take it 3 times a day. So sometimes it'd be 109/62, sometimes 116/70 maybe. And then another routine, the highest it ever got was like 125/68. Was my highest. So what he did, the doctor said, I'm taking you off the first medication, which was 50 milligrams, and stay on the other one. So I go back next Tuesday, but I've been checking my blood pressure every day for about 6 months. So I've got a notebook full of blood pressure medications that I've taken as far as testing it. But anyway, it's still, even after taking away the main 50 milligrams, it's still staying like 109/60, 118/65. It's still in those lower ranges. So I'm thinking for sure it has to be that Restore doing this. Because the doctor said normally I don't say stop taking your medication. He said, in fact, the nurse that gave the talk to me on the checkup 6 months ago, she said, well, these 2 medications you're taking, they're some of our harshest ones. You'll never get off these the rest of your life. They're pretty strong ones. And once your body gets used to these 2, you probably won't go off of them. But anyway, so I got off the 50 milligram one. The 20 milligram one, I forget the name, it starts with an L, but he's thinking I may go off that this week. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say, but I wanted to talk to you about that.
Thanks again, Dan, for sharing that.
Again,
Okay.
y'all heard him say.
We'll talk soon then. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
You heard him say that they said
Fix
that
the
he
gut.
would
You
never
fix a
get
lot
off
of
those
other stuff, or you
medications.
avoid a lot of other things that might befall you. Okay. Now, a big factor in your health as it pertains to guts is the relationship to autoimmune diseases. Because that's where your body's attacking itself, right? You got Crohn's and on and on and on, all the different irritable bowel syndrome, IBS type conditions that have in your gut. And what's happening there is your gut gets corrupted, okay? So things that are supposed to stay in your gut, like the healthy bacteria and stuff, they're not getting in your bloodstream. They're not supposed to be there. That causes some confusion because your immune cells are going after them. They think that stuff's trying to kill you, and they want to kill it. So now your body's basically attacking itself. You know, there's this fog of war kind of thing going on. It's a problem. So if we want to address that, we got to do it from the cells up. Repair that gut so your body can then normalize these autoimmune responses, which are causing you autoimmune consequences. Rebecca Gill had the worst case of this I had ever seen. Many of you know her because she works on our customer service line. This is about a couple months in because she is bleeding, having to periodically get blood transfusions. It is bad. But at this point, she got some really good news from her doctor. Rebecca, you have an update.
I most certainly do. I'm so excited. I see a hematologist every few months, 2 to 3 months, depending, to see about my iron level. I have low iron because of the bleeding with my Crohn's, which I guess is very common. And I had a report this morning, February 2021. And I went to see my doctor, and he started looking at my numbers. And he said, well, I'm sorry, Rebecca, but I'm afraid there's no injector for you today. He said, you're perfectly normal. He basically said, all of your numbers are dead center, normal, even. He said, your hemoglobin's good, your CBC is good, your iron is good. He looked at a couple other numbers, and I can't remember what they're called. I've actually got a copy of the lab reports because they gave them to me. But everything's just perfectly even keel normal. And he said, how is the Crohn's going? I said, well, I still have flare-ups. I said, I've got a lot of stress in my life right now. And I said, I've had some flare-ups, and I do have some bleeding. And he said, do you find blood in your stool? And I said, well, yes. They did a test, and they determined that I have some blood in my stool. And he said, but you don't have a great deal of bleeding when you go to the bathroom. And I said, no. He said, well, then I wouldn't worry about it. He said, see me in 3.5 months. And I could not believe it. I literally could not believe it. I was so excited. I went this morning fully prepared to have an infusion because I haven't had one for the last several months. I've been fairly normal. And all of a sudden to hear this morning was just amazing, especially with everything I've gone through recently. It's just been crazy. I think really what's going on, Roger, I think the oil is really making a huge difference. I think that it's really evening out my system and making it possible for things to start working better. And I think that's what's important. And I'm attributing it to the oil because I've certainly noticed it since I started taking the oil.
Yes, well, that's quite a dramatic change. I know your quality of life is just taking a huge leap.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you consider that my iron, when they first diagnosed it, was around a 9 to a 15, which is dangerously low. They told me I was dangerously low. And now I'm up around 45, 51. It's huge. It's a huge leap. Yeah, I think the oil has just done huge things. And I think that it's just improving things all the time now, which is just amazing for me. And I'm really excited. Well, I think what's exciting for me and what I'm noticing, I think my body is absorbing things better than it was, which has always been a problem for me. I've always been vitamin D deficient. I've always been vitamin B deficient, but our B12 especially. And those are all going better. And the iron is just another aspect of that I think all of a sudden is now being absorbed better and working better in my body and doing what it's supposed to do. It's just amazing.
All right. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
I hope you didn't miss that part where she was talking about her vitamin deficiencies improving. It wasn't because she was taking more vitamins. It was because her gut health had improved to the point that her assimilation of those was that much more efficient. Okay? Now think about the pervasive impact of that you're getting more out of the food you eat, so therefore your body can do more with it to make you healthier. How cool is that? Well, it's very cool if you like Marsha Bell, and many of you know her because she pays you, right? That's where she works with us. And early on, Marsha was one of the ones that came to us. She had acid reflux. Now, Rebecca, that you just heard, I did about 10 interviews chronicling her, and I'll put another one on Monday, the whole experience with us. Marsha was the first, though, that came back to us with a really bad and interesting autoimmune condition. And it's one that will bring out the fact that many of you are going to go through detoxing, because that's what we got to do. Those toxins are between you and being healthier, right? So listen to my conversation with her, talk about her experience, and we'll unpack that.
That's the feeling that you get when you just feel like you're drained. I didn't have a drained feeling. I just felt this wave of calm come over my body and peace. And I just wanted to rest. I didn't feel like doing anything. But I did recognize that this was the product kicking in because I had heard others talk about it. So I tried to make myself not feel guilty because, here in America, it's like we always have to accomplish something where, if we're not busy doing something, we just, we feel guilty. So I got past that. So I'm going to just say this very quickly. I just knew to rest. So I rested actually until Sunday. Sunday morning, I didn't even go out to church. I just stayed home and rested. I just knew that my body needed this. By Sunday afternoon, energy started kicking in. And it was not an energy that is an adrenaline rush like you get from taking these adrenaline rush drinks. It was just a slow wave coming on, just like a wave of calm, a wave of energy started kicking in. And I got up and I said, you know what? I just felt so much better. I did my laundry, I did that. So I noticed, even so, that was the day I think I really noticed that my stomach was feeling better. Now, here's the thing. I had problems with my digestive system, and I didn't realize how far back it went until you asked me, Roger, and it's been probably 30 years or more, over 30 years. And in certain foods that I would eat, I noticed that I didn't digest. So now I love Italian food, sauces and all that. So I had some ground beef, some grass-fed beef, and I was going to cook that. So I cooked that, and I decided to make a meat sauce. So I had some tomato sauce I wanted to use up, and I also had some sun-dried tomatoes, and I really like blue cheese. Well, that combination is almost like deadly for me, but I don't want to say deadly. It's just like when I eat that, I know that probably that night I'm not going to sleep because that night it's going to want to come up, and acid reflux is going to want to come up, and I'm going to be trying to take water or take some almond milk with turmeric and warm it up and try to get it to go down and keep it down. So, and also another problem I had, which another friend of mine mentioned several years ago, she said, I notice every time you eat, Masha, you cough. And that's true. And another friend of mine said, yeah, I noticed that too. Every time you eat, you cough. And it's just like it would want to come back up. And so I would have a hard time, getting food down like it should go down. And I was concerned because I thought that I had a small esophagus, and I thought maybe I was born with a small esophagus, or maybe it was plugged with something, because sometimes food would just want to come right back up. I could never just get it to go down, especially food like that. So let me just tell you, I'll cut to the quick, and I will tell you that I ate that meal that Sunday, and it was not early. It was probably around 7 o'clock or so. I ate that meal. It went down without me coughing, and it did not come back up. As a matter of fact, I went to bed. I had 2 helpings. That meal was so good. That recipe was the first time I ever fixed it. It was so good. I had another helping. I sure did. Made myself a little hard with that one. But I wanted to put it to the test, though. So I had 2 great helpings, went to bed a little bit later, slept like a baby. No problem that night. Got up that morning, still had energy. I had some leftovers for the next 2 days. I ate that meal. No problems to this day. No problems. And so I noticed that also that area, and I don't know, most of you probably know, like the gut area around the middle of the belly. And a lot of times as we get a little older, we start gaining weight there. And I was very concerned about that, very, very concerned. And I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do about this? And I noticed that that's been going down. It really has. It's gone down and I've lost weight. I've lost about 10 pounds.
Really?
Yep. I've lost about 10 pounds. So that's what's happened to me internally. So I have good sleep, good energy. I rest when I need to. I'm starting to dream more. And my digestive system has improved tremendously. And that gut area has gone down. Now, that's what I've taken internally. Then I have another testimony if you want to ask about that externally as well. But that's what's happened to me internally.
That was awesome testimony.
There are hundreds of you on this call today, and some of you have uncomfortable guts and may have had it for decades like Marsha did. It's so fundamental to the rest of your health that we fix that. And it's wonderful to know that nutritionally we can do it. You know, we don't have to try to deal with this from a disease perspective. We just want to feed you better than you've been feeding yourself before meeting us with the special technology that's regrowing your mitochondria and allowing your body to fix you in the ways that it knows how to do it. Okay. I'll make more comments about her. You heard her talk about that wave of calm and peace that came over her. Well, that's the emotional part that comes from your gut. Okay, via that vagus nerve that communicates with your brain. It also communicates things when you eat junk food. When you eat junky stuff, that bacteria in your gut that's caused that is going to make you want to crave things that you know you should not eat. So with the oil-based part of our formulation and Restore, it's normalizing that process. It's encouraging good bacteria. It's discouraging and killing off the bad bacteria so you can get back to normal. Okay? All right. So star 5 on your phone if you got a question or comment. We're going to get to that soon. I know many of you got your hands up already. But before we do that, let me remind you that everything we're talking about that pertains to people also pertains to pets. You know, 75% of the homes in America have a dog or a cat, and half of them consider that pet to be a family member. So every Saturday we look forward to hearing from our partner in Ireland, Mick McQuillan. I saw Mick at the top. Is Mick still there? Yes, I see him. So we're delighted to have Mick come on. Mick and Kate have an amazing business called Pet Sitters Island out of Ireland. And Mick, are you with me?
Roger. Hello, how you doing?
All right.
Amazing. Listen, thank you for the introduction. And like always, it's just amazing to be on this call and listen to these amazing stories of people who are changing their lives, you know, by improving their health and restoring and regrowing their mitochondria. It's incredible. Listen, my name is Mick McQuillan, and of course, I'm here in Ireland. And along with my wife, we have this Petlife Island. It's Ireland's largest, most recommended, most trillion pet care. About a decade and a half, and in that time, we've delivered over 500,000 pet care services to thousands and thousands of customers, you know, all over Ireland. And what we really do is better about something that makes them feel bad. And that's really the reason I love this product so much, because it does exactly that. It does that for my customers' pets, you know, and it's incredible. And if you've never heard my story before, maybe some of you have. 4 or 5 years ago, you know, Coco was 12 years old. She could barely get up the stairs. She's dragging herself up with her front legs. Her back legs are just acting like stabilizers. And I was watching, made me feel bad. How I feel. You know, we were looking. In the past, the traditional to the vet that before, and there's all kinds of different things that you know, that happen when you go down that route. You know, there's different side effects. There's medication and everything else, and changes in behavior. And, you know, we didn't really want to go down that route. We'd done it before. We wanted to try something a little bit more holistic, a little bit more natural. You know, we found Roger, MoreMito, Dr. Bevan, Dale. You know, we reached out and we were so relieved when we got this product. Yeah, we were skeptical. Don't get me wrong. We didn't know. We didn't know how it was going to work. But we gave it to Coco at 10 o'clock one Sunday morning. And at 5 o'clock that night, she ran up the steps. It worked really, really quickly. And both Kate and I, we couldn't really believe it. We were like, oh my God, did that just happen? You know, we were looking at each other. But it just got better and better. Now, Coco was recently at the vets, you know, and they did, you know, we're standing in the vets. You know, when you're standing there and someone looks kind of confused and you're thinking, oh my God, is this going to be bad? And then we were like, is there something wrong? He's like, well, no, not really. Your blood works better than mine. We're like, wait, amazing. You know, so yeah, it made me feel better. It makes Coco feel better. You know, my customers, you know, they feel the same. You know, like, you know, one of my customers sent me, you know, his dog was kind of lame, just lying around, wasn't really doing much. And 2 weeks later, he's sending me videos of his dog doing zoomies around the kitchen. You know, unbelievable. And this is the difference that these products can make. Now, if you're a pet owner, or maybe you know someone with a pet, and you're watching these things happen to your dog and you're not changing it, you're choosing it for your pet. You know, I would recommend that you try these and give them a shot, see how they work for you. You know, restoring and regrowing mitochondria, you know, in your pet's body, in your own body, can only make your body better, can only make your pet's body better, you know? So I would recommend that you give it, of course, Roger, if you're Andrea, you know, and her dog Gizmo, sadly passed over, you know, but he lived 2 years of great life, you know, incredible. So I've got a question I want to ask, you know, when we get onto the comments and questions later on, so I'll put my hand back up for that. But listen, look, if you're in this call for the first time, I encourage you to get back to the person who invited you to this call and find out what your next steps are, if any. But listen, amazing, thank you so much. Incredible, great to be here. And I'll hand it back to you, and I'll speak to you again in a couple of minutes.
If you're watching on the Health
All right,
Show,
thank you, Mick. Great having you on.
look in the descriptions and get the
Put your hand back
information
up.
on how to place your
We'll
order.
pick you up again then.
Create your free customer website.
Okay, so let me kind of recap what we're doing, especially if you got on the call a little bit later, you just need to hear it again. We've got a different approach to health and wellness. It begins with you regrowing your mitochondria, that mitochondria being a component of the energy. You had a lot of that when you were younger. But as you get older, you lose them. By the time you're 60, you will have lost half of them. Your body isn't working better because of that, right? It's working worse. So we've created a formulation that, thanks to Dr. Elliott, that regrows mitochondria, and it is unique to us. It's what separates us from everything else you've ever tried. You look at that list and you see some ingredients, you say, I've used this before, I've used that before. You know you haven't, compared to this XDS version of it that restores your mitochondria in the process, okay? Now, the three products that technology, XDS, Exponential Delivery System, is in that does this. The first one is called Restore. Restore is an oil. It's got two amazing superfoods that is base, olive oil, and black seed oil. There's a total of 44 ingredients in it all together. And they're there to address every organ system you have, including gut that we're talking about today, okay? And its purpose is cellular repair, very important for your gut health, again, that we're talking about today, and organ regeneration. We got to bring your organs back, your eyes, your brain, your heart. We want to bring them all back. And we can do that very well because those organs have the highest concentration of mitochondria, and that's what we're regrowing. So it's really an elegant way to assist your body so it can fix the rest of you. Right? We don't do conditions. That's what your body does. We do mitochondria. Okay? All right. Then there's the second product is called Renew Brain and Body. The body part of brain and body is a different way to grow mitochondria. The things we need to grow mitochondria aren't in one place, so we can't just give you one pill or one capsule. They're scattered through nature. The oil-soluble ones we have in Restore, the water-soluble ones we have in Renew Brain and Body. Amazing synergy there because we've got to approach this a lot of different ways. And then the brain part is additional ingredients in there for your brain. Any condition you have, it could potentially damage that, do some special things there. Then there's that topical cream we have called Rejuvenate. Highly recommended for anything that affects your hair, your scalp, or your skin, any place on your body. Devin originally created because he said no one had ever cured a sunburn. He wanted to do that. And yes, it does amazing things for burns. But it penetrates all the way to the bone. So if you've got issues of discomfort, any of that, that's going to be your go-to product. But furthermore, you should put some of that Restore in the Rejuvenate. Rejuvenate is designed to be transdermal, as in carry nutrition through the skin. So you can let the Restore hit you right on that. You can put it right where you've got the specific area of concern. Okay? Makes up, but together, they're all potentiating your mitochondria, rolling them back, and then giving you some resources that your body can now better use because you have the cellular repair and the extra energy going for you to make that happen better. Okay, so that's our whole process. Our copy, like I said, there's gut. We're going to continue it on Monday night. But with that, Dale Bonet with a commercial, and then we're going to go to the hands. Okay, so get your hand up, star 5 on your phone at that panel. Dale Bonet.
Thank you, Roger. And listen, everybody, real quick before the commercial, I want to give you an update on Rebecca Gill. She is going to be, you heard her story, you heard about sitting in the chair, getting transfusions, all the things that go with Crohn's disease. Rebecca will be gone for 10 days in September because she has booked a cruise. So from what you heard to going on a 10-day cruise, and it happens when you right your body, right your mitochondria. We're just so happy for Rebecca. And your first step, I think, on booking your cruise would be taking the product. You get this product at MoreMito.com, MoreMito.com, then a / type in your username and hit enter. You're going to be at your website now. You know it's your site because your name's at the top of the page, so is your phone number, so is your email. That's where you send people to learn more about the products after you initially tell them the types of things you've learned and you know the product can do once it's combined with their DNA. They can read about the ingredients. They can read about XPS. They can read the actual labels that are on the product. And most important, they can purchase from you and begin their health journey. But you know what? They can also join you. We've created a one-of-a-kind product line. You know that now from what you heard and what has happened to people. Changed their lives. They've grabbed a hold. They're back in living life to its fullest. Well, listen, we created a one-of-a-kind company to support that one-of-a-kind product line. There's no cost to join MoreMito. There's no fee to get in. There's no monthly fee to be here. The websites I just told you about, those are free. You don't pay for those. It's in the description. And listen, we don't make you go on auto ship. We don't force you to buy product, any product ever. And you don't even have to buy product to be in the compensation plan. And you're going to love our compensation plan should you choose to participate. Once we verified your phone and your email, you're going to discover that we don't pay compensation once a month or once a week or even once a day. Every time somebody makes a purchase, your compensation is in your back office for you to use. If you've joined as a referring customer, then you instantly have Mito Cash. Spend it on products, pay for shipping, send it to other people, or you can upgrade to a paid rep. That's free as well. Now you can utilize the new Stripe Connect system to get it sent right to your bank account. It gets sent quickly. It gets sent securely. That's the key word in today's age, securely, through the Stripe connectivity plan. You can also send it to PayPal, send it to Venmo, even use the old-fashioned slow ACH way to get it in your bank. Here's the point. We're here to support you. We're here to pay you like you've never been paid before on products that people are astounded because they actually work. We've got a support staff. You call the number at the bottom of your website, bottom right-hand corner, 509-593-3300. The support staff is live. They're human beings. None of this send an email and maybe you'll get connected like all these companies do today. We're still staffed with humans. If you get a recording, then everybody's already talking on the phone. Leave a message. You're going to get a call back. That's astounding. And you know what? If you call us and hang up, we still see that you called. Every call in, the phone number is recorded. Look, we're here with one purpose, to help you. You got a question about commission. You got a question about the pay plan. You got a question about hierarchy or how the products work. We're here to make it easy for you to do the one thing only you can do. We can't do this part. You got to tell somebody. We're growing phenomenally because you are sharing with people. You've got secrets shared with you today. Don't keep them under a basket. Tell people their life can be different. Physical life and financial life. It's all on you. We're here to support you. Roger, if I left anything out, let me know. I'm going to turn this call back to you.
Again, check in the description if you're on Health and Wealth Show
I want to
or Success on
let
Stephanie.
everybody
It's in
know
the
that,
description on how do you
those of
create
you
your
who are
free customer
using,
website.
I'm going to call it domestic ACH, direct bank deposits, need to move over to the international version with Stripe Connect. Okay, we can now pay people in 161 countries, including ours, the United States, right? And we need to wind down the domestic because part of it's manual, and so many of you are getting paid. It just takes too much time to do it. Okay, so we can get it straight to your bank very efficiently. So go in your back office, follow those instructions, and set up your Stripe Connect account to do ACHs with. Probably another week or so, we're going to not honor those requests that come from the regular ACH. We'll keep it as backup, right? But again, we can't scale with that. We can't keep growing with that because it's manual. We've got to move it over to something more automated. Okay, so very important. You'll be something going on in your mail soon. They'll will send something out to them, letting them know that you're going to have about a week or so to get that done. And the cool thing about it is when you do domestic ACH and you apply for that, it takes 5 days to get you onto that anyway. With Stripe Connect, you could sign up for it and then make a request the same day. So it's better that way anyhow.
I did that.
Okay? So bear that in mind. We really appreciate your helping us out with that. Okay. We got a bunch of hands up here, but I want to get Brenda Board and Alice Dorsey or Sam Slade's hands up as well. We want to talk about our travel schedule to North Carolina for the events that they're having. I'll be continuing on to Greenville the following week. And, Atlanta, this 18th and the 20th for North Carolina, and Hosky, North Carolina, and Williamston, North Carolina, and Greenville. That's Thursday and Saturday, and then the following Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll be in Greenville hanging out with Devin for a while. So we'll do a meet and greet while I'm there. I'll announce what day that's going to be later once we figure out what my schedule with Devin is. Then on the weekend of the 27th, I'll be back in Atlanta Saturday and Sunday, like we always do. So we want to let you know that the schedule. You'll see it posted. We'll be in a new location in Atlanta, very near the old one. They're renovating over there, so we will be like less than a mile away, and we'll let you know that. So it'll be the same area, but a different hotel. We'll let you know about. So with that, let me bring you Brenda Board. Brenda is doing a very special thing. Did Brenda disappear? Oh, here she is.
I got her.
You're doing a really, really special thing for prostate cancer. You and I share something in that both of our fathers passed from prostate cancer. You got an event going at a hockey. Can you tell a bit about
take place in the hockey on Thursday, September 18th. There will be a light supper, which we're calling an Evening in Blue, where we're hoping to have several people there, and we'll be recognizing caretakers as well. Mr. Hill will be guest speaker, and I'm looking forward to also that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday leading up to Thursday to have radio live from Ahoskie with a few survivors. And it's just an exciting time. My father died of prostate cancer, as Mr. Hill said, and he had driven from, the reason why I'm so focused on this area is because it's 3 counties. He had driven from Hertford County to Wilmington, Delaware, the VA hospital, to discover that he had metastatic prostate cancer because he couldn't get an answer. And here we are again. It's 2025. He died in 1996. And it's still one of the highest areas. So I am making a loud, I'm trying to be but I am. I'm going to be loud about this because I think it needs to be heard in that area. And thank you so much, Mr. for coming.
My pleasure. Can't wait to get there with you. Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you.
Do you see either Alice or Sam Slade?
I don't see Alice.
Star 5 on your phone. Say again?
I got Sam right here.
Okay.
I've unmuted Sam.
Sam, you with me? Yeah, I see Alice also unmuting her. So Sam, you started something. Alice, Alice signed you up, and then you were a prostate cancer person in progress with that. And share with people a little bit about your experience and how important it is for this event. For over 50 years in Williamston, E.J. Hayes High School continue to have a homecoming. And we're going to be there for that. And we're going to have cancer as our topic for that whole weekend. So share a little bit about the event, your experience, and whatnot.
Yes, the event is more or less my sister Alice's baby. So she drafted me to support her in it. So I'm supporting her. So she's doing all the legwork in this. So I'm in the background, you might say in her amen corner. But I'm looking forward to it because I want to share the fact that there are other ways of curing prostate cancer. A lot of people still going with the old radiation chemo. And I tell them about my journey. For some reason, they don't get it. And I share more details. Radiation chemo kill your cells along with your cancer cells. MoreMito enhance your cells. And for some reason, they don't get it. So I'm still excited about getting the word out to various people. I don't know what it takes. When a person's stuck on the fact that forever and a day, all we did was a radiation chemo, it's kind of hard to get those people out of that mode. When I first came down with prostate cancer back in March of 2022, I was looking for another way out back then, not knowing about MoreMito, but I ran across a procedure that it was a low-grade radiation that only 47 clinics in the whole U.S. of A had that. So I left Alabama here, headed up to my home in North Carolina there. Hampton University over in Virginia offered that procedure. And I went through it. I came back down here. In the meantime, Alice turned me on to MoreMito. Last 3 months later, I'm prostate cancer free. I shared it with people. And again, for some reason, they don't get it. But I'm not going to stop talking about it because I'm excited. And of course, I'm still on MoreMito, and I share with them the fact that physically and mentally speaking, and I'm serious about this, I feel like I did when I was back in my 20s. Not that I'm doing the physical part of it, but mentally and physically speaking, just the way I feel every day. I'm alert. So that excites me about the whole process. And again, I'm continuing to get the word out there. So I'm looking forward to the event in Williamston because that's where I started last September, October.
Right.
September,
October. Let's hear from Alice. I got her on it also. Alice, go right ahead. Talk to her.
Please, guys, my MoreMito family, thanks for this opportunity to share, Roger. But our event is going to be September 20th, that's Saturday. From 3:30 to 5 o'clock, we're going to have food. It's going to be at the Hampton Inn in Williamston. They're on Hampton Court, Highway 17. But bring your family, your friends, even your enemies. Tell your enemies about it as well. Everybody wants to be healed. Nobody wants to be sick. So this technology is phenomenal. So we're just trying to educate the people and tell everybody about it. And thank you, Roger, for volunteering to come and share this with the Williamstonians, the people around North Carolina and other places, because Williamston is on the East Coast, so we're not far from Virginia, not far from South Carolina. So everybody within that radius, 2-hour radius, can come and enjoy and share and learn and get healthy. Thank you much. Enjoy.
All right. Thank you, Sam, and thank you, Alice.
If you're
All
in
right.
that
Can't wait
area
to get
of those
there.
areas that they name,
Okay, Dale. We got a lot of hands,
you know
Dale.
somebody in those areas, share the
Yes, we
information.
do.
Why don't we get Mick first? Because might come and go. Give me Mick McQuillan from Ireland again. He had
All
a
right.
question.
Nick, I've unmuted you. Go ahead, buddy.
Cheers, Dale. Appreciate it. Roger, I had a quick question. What age can people start using this? The reason I bring that up is when I say
You're kind of breaking up. Where you asked me at what age can people start using it?
Yes.
For children, we've had a great history with children with autism, and I think the youngest one was 7 years old. Okay, so I think that for the most part with children, you're just talking about adjusting the dosage based on the weight, kind of like you would do with your pets, right? They don't weigh as much, so they don't need as much, and they respond really, really well.
The only reason why I bring this up, Roger, is that Sandra's friends, a girl by the name of Emma. She's a young child that has some digestive problems, is being fed intravenously at the moment, and I wonder if this could help to solve that problem.
Right. So the way I look at it is this: we're feeding our kids food. This is food, right? High-tech salad dressing, right? So, so it starts out being super safe. It's not a controlled substance like medications are. So experiment with it. Let's give it a try. I think it could be beneficial.
Perfect. Thank you, Roger. Appreciate it.
My youngest grandson is a couple of weeks old.
Put him
He
back.
was about 1 week old.
Okay, so give me that wireless call out of Illinois, Dale. The one that ends at 8613, if I'm reading that right.
All right, wireless caller, give us your name, ask your question.
Hello. My name is Vicky, and I just got the product like yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I was traveling from Illinois to another state, and as I was going to that state, I felt like I was getting sicker and sicker. And the person that had introduced me to it is Brenda Board. And I'm so grateful and so thankful because there was just so many things that was just happening on our way, to go out of town. And she had told me, I had told her some of the things, and she actually, as soon as I got home, as soon as I got here, I saw the product, and I was like, well, I don't want to start using it because I don't know what I'm doing yet. So I called her that morning, and she was telling me what to do. That was Friday morning. I remember that. It was Friday morning, and she called me back, and she said, "You got the product, right?" I said, "Yeah, I got it." And she started telling me how to use it. And my son has something with his leg. I think they call it drop foot or something. They call it something, but he's been dragging his leg because he had gotten shot. And so I was telling her, I said, my son, his leg is really, 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 really hurting him. We put the cream on his leg. He was like, I'm trying, he said, because his leg was hurting him so bad. He put the cream on his leg, and I just kind of walked around, just watching him and stuff. And he told me, I said, how does your leg feel? And it was like he stopped, and he goes, it feels better. And I was like, oh, great, okay. I said, how's all the rest of your leg? Because just at one part he put it on. He said, it feels okay. I said, well, let's put it all over your whole leg. And so we did, and his leg is feeling so much better. And I had, it's definitely feeling better. And so he was saying that he likes the cream. And I know that Brenda had told us to put the oil in the cream. And so I was like wondering if we could put more than the amount that is there.
Okay, so let me answer. First of all, he likes the cream, but we need to keep the whole thing in perspective. Try to get all of it as soon as you can. Okay, let me say that. And definitely mix the oil with the cream, because like I said, it's gonna hit you right with that rejuvenate the cream, because it's designed to carry nutrition to the skin, so that the store's gonna go with it. But with his condition, we need to be addressing his whole body, and we need all three of them to do the best job of that. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Vicki. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. So how about Carla Pettaway in Detroit to call our ID?
All right, Carla, I have unmuted you. Go ahead with your question. Hello, Carla.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I hear you now. Go ahead.
I'm new. I just bought a bundle yesterday and have no idea what I'm doing, okay? I have multiple situations going on with my body and do not want to hold anybody up in regards to it, but is there a way how I can speak to somebody as far as a one-on-one so they can guide me through this?
Who wanted to introduce you?
Actually, no one really. Okay, so somebody knew somebody, and then I just called, okay, and then had to go back to go get the person's name, whereas I really don't know her, okay, but however I did give out a name.
Okay, I just took a screenshot. I'll try to get back to you later today, but if I don't call you about tomorrow afternoon, call that customer service number again, okay?
Okay, because I got multiple situations going on.
Okay.
And they had even told me to ask you guys.
Okay, well, you came to the right place, and we'll get back to you. We'll complete that conversation, okay?
Okay, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
All right.
Fantastic. And welcome,
Okay,
Carla.
so let's get Reggie Williams out of Atlanta.
Reggie, I've unmuted you, buddy. Go ahead.
Man, I can't wait till you get here to Atlanta. Oh, my goodness, can't go good seeing you, Raj. I wish Dale could come, but I appreciate the awesome call. Well, I want to share two things. First thing is, I got to give a little joke. I went to a 3-legged race, and since I only have 2 legs, I drank a bottle of Restore, grew the 3rd leg, and won the race. Well, anyway, I want to say something. I have 4 Chihuahuas, and I have a Cane Corso. Now, my Chihuahuas, they think they're pit bulls. And so they raised, as today is her birthday, Nana, she's 2 years old. They raised her. But what they would always do is grab her in the face, and they would just, really, really, really nasty. She remembered that all the way up to 2 weeks ago. Well, they growled at her and grabbed her, and she put a hole the size of, if you take your finger, your pointer finger and your thumb in the male, and then the mother, she crushed her face. And when I heard the screaming, I opened the door, the blood was everywhere. I said, oh my God, she's going to kill these dogs. I said, okay, I'm going to have to put this in order. Long story short, I took the cream, I patched it, I just slapped it on the mother Chihuahua. Not even 6 seconds, the blood stopped. I said, okay. So I put the Restore all over her. Well, the next day when I went in there, she looked like she fought Ken Norton, or should I say Holyfield, or Tyson, and it was to the point where I thought I was going to have to put her down. Her eye, I couldn't see her eyeball. I thought maybe she punctured her eye. Well, she did rupture the socket. For a week straight, I kept putting on the Rejuvenate on this dog. When I tell you she is 92% better, walking around, jumping around, even to the point where it's, and then the hole that was in the male, all the hair grew back. All the hair. And so as a result of that, I am saying this. This stuff is just, it's just amazing, guys. All I could do is say thank you for saving the lives of the world. Because, hey, how do you create zombies? Go to the graveyard, put some Restore, and the bones will pop up. I had to put a little joke behind that. So thank you, Raj.
Okay, Reggie. Great to hear for all the pet-involved people. Thank you. Okay.
Pet owners, you need to get yours.
William or Roosevelt?
Heard about both of them, the Petlife and the Rejuvenate Gel.
Real quick, Roger,
yes.
you know that when you mate a vampire bat with a gecko, you get a chihuahua. That's how they came to be. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to, you said Roosevelt?
William or Roosevelt in Houston.
Ew. Got a lot of background.
Or Roosevelt.
Oh, wait. Let me check.
You on the phone?
I have my headphones.
Okay, we can't. There's too much background noise.
We'll come back.
Call us back. Call us back. There's too much background noise. Yeah. Okay. So why don't we do Marvin McGee in South Carolina?
All right, Marvin, I've unmuted you. Go ahead with your question.
A lady had mentioned
go ahead, Marvin.
About, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, awesome. Someone was talking about how close they were to South Carolina, North Carolina, and you were going to be coming to their area. Should you possibly give me that area that...
Well, in your back office right now, you can see the announcer for Atlanta. So that's that one, okay? And then Williamston, North Carolina. Wait a minute, is that announcement up there for Williamston? That's the one that is up.
Nope.
So Williamston is up right now.
Yeah, Williamston is up.
If you log in your back office, you'll see the one, and you just have to click on a little plus sign, and you'll see all the details right there. It's that's the 20th, right? That's the 20th. That's a Saturday, and then the Thursday before. I don't think we put that up, but we will. Is a husky.
Okay.
So you can see the Williamston one right now. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. You're welcome.
Fantastic.
Okay, let's talk to Cindy in Hayward, California. Let's talk to Cindy.
All right, Cindy, I've unmuted you. Go ahead with your question.
Hi, guys. Okay, you know my story, and I'm now working with 4 different professionals, and, you know, it's been almost 6 years and 2 years bedridden. So these are my questions. I found out that a lot of what's going on with my digestion, having a hard time working, is my vagus nerve. So one of the people I'm working with, cross-country, I'm doing vagus nerve stimulators and exercises.
Get to the part where you have a question for us, or we can help you.
Yeah, I mentioned the vagus nerve. So there's something I'll help because I stopped taking it because of all the symptoms that I go with.
Okay, so let me answer that question. Does this benefit or help the vagus nerve? Answer yes. Answer yes.
Okay, next, is it antibacterial?
Yes.
I found out.
Now, here's the thing. There's 2 kinds of bacteria: good ones and bad ones. Mm-hmm. So it promotes. Listen to me, Cynthia. I'm going to put you on hold. This is really an interesting process. Okay, this is really closer on. It's really an interesting process. It doesn't kill all bacteria. It promotes a good bacteria, which you need. In your mouth, for example, That's why people have such an amazing good health. It's really good for bacteria to populate your mouth and your nasal cavities. That's why you can take a Q-tip, put it in that Restore Rejuvenate mixture, suck it in your nostrils, right? Does amazing wonders there. But at the same time, that bad bacteria that might be causing you to have cravings and other problems suppresses those. And I don't understand it, man. Maybe it just causes the good ones to grow so much it crowds out the other one. Maybe there's some direct activity against it. I don't know, but we don't need to know. All we know is that it does promote, and it's this bacteria, right, that's communicating via that vagus nerve. So just by changing the biome to bacteria population so that the good ones are being encouraged or improves, the quality of that communication is going on with your brain, right? And that's even above the fact that everything in your body, per their cellular repair and organ regeneration, is getting better without not including, of course, your business. So that's my answer to that question. Okay, I want to bring Dr. Dan back. Unmute him. Okay, so we got this whole process going here. Touched on the bacteria aspects. We have touched on the connection between autoimmune conditions and the health of the gut, right? And there's the whole emotional side. Okay, give me your comments on this whole thing that we're doing in our single approach to it versus everything else that's around. Go ahead.
Well, the basis of this company is that we increase more mitochondria than anyone else, and maybe no one else but us who increases mitochondria. And that has a whole lot to do with how healthy the cells is. But I want to comment on something the lady just said. Our adaptogens put in this product are de-stressors. They calm the vagus nerve. They realize irritable bowel and a lot of digestive problems is the vagus nerve. It's sort of like a cramp. Like if your calf was cramped, well, it can cramp your intestines and in your stomach, cause too much acid to be produced, cause a shutdown of the movement in your gut. So when you take this product, one of the first things you'll start noticing is how good you feel. It's relaxing the system so things can function the way they're meant to, and your digestive system can work the way it's meant to. So, and helping the vagus nerve is definitely a big part of what we're doing, besides increasing the mitochondria and the energy and detoxifying the cells. So the question she asked, I meant to get into in the first 5 minutes, and I got into mine, but this is very, very important, that we affect the mitochondria the way we do. And then we affect we deliver the adaptogens, herbs, into the nervous system so it can have a dramatic effect on the body. And there's other things we do that are phenomenal as well. But I think that is very important. If we're talking about digestive health, you have to get the vagus nerve relaxed, working the way it's supposed to, or it can get heavy. And we do that. We do correct it. So definitely use the product and keep using it. Roger told me, I was under a lot of stress over the last few weeks. Roger says, double up on the product. And I went, okay, I'll do that. I did, and he was right. And seed oil and olive oil, and they're all fungicide antibacterial. And a lot of digestive problems are fungal. So it does that. And at least Roger said, good bacteria. The good bacteria, the genius behind this, folks, is amazing to me. And also the results are even more amazing. It's mitochondria, but it's more than that too, because it has to be, to really make the mitochondria grow, it has to be antioxidants, it has to be detoxification, it has to lower the stress levels in the body and lower the free radical that causes the damage in the body. And we do all that. We do it better than anybody. And it's because of the brilliant technology of the XDS and the things that he figured out playing in perfect harmony. So,
all right. Yeah, we got two opportunities here. The first one is for you to take advantage of this technology we've been talking about, put it together with your DNA and see what your body comes up with. Maybe you got a particular concern. Maybe you just want to be as healthy as you can possibly be. You know, that more mitochondria can have a positive impact on that. The other thing is more people need to hear what you've been hearing today. In fact, every one of our calls. So we created this risk-free opportunity. They alluded to it. Cost you nothing to get involved with us or stay involved with us. And by now, you know who we are. We're that no gimmicks company that puts health on 100 and hype on 0, right? So if you're interested in better health outcomes and profiting from it, we've created this amazing compensation that's world-class. And the first thing I wanted to do when we did this is help you make your product more affordable. And you can do that just by reference to other people like the movie. This is better than the movie, okay? And for those of you professional marketers and whatnot, the benefits there are amazing. Talk to the folks that are doing well with us, and they will tell you they earn more here than they did anyplace else. I just want to help people. I see an amazing business opportunity here. Boy, did you come to the right place. So with that, Dale, I'll give you the last word.
Thank you, Roger. Listen, everybody, a little logistics here. This is Labor Day weekend. We want you to enjoy, get with people you don't normally get with, and just enjoy the weekend. But at the same time, share the message. You're going to see people you don't normally see. There's no shipping on Monday. Get your orders in today and tomorrow for that Tuesday morning flood of orders. Let's get you with the front of that. So get your orders in, enjoy the weekend, and we will see you all Monday night on our call.
Was that not awesome, y'all? So now you know that you need to look in the description if you're on Health and Wealth Show with Stephanie or Success on Stephanie. Or if someone else referred you, you want to get back with that person and get their website so you can go create your free customer website so that you can get your products. And you want to go and order your bundle, your brain and body bundle, which includes your brain and body capsules, your Renew brain and body capsules, your Restore Oil, and your Rejuvenate Gel. Remember, and if you have the pets, what did you hear them talking about? You want to get the Petlife and the Rejuvenate Gel for your pets. You heard people sharing examples of what those products were doing for their pets. So you owe it to yourself to get the products and get your mitochondria strong. So again, if you have questions, you can put in a and with your questions, the detail of how you create my website so that you can get, because you have to be referred. All that's in the description. If you're on Facebook, just inbox me a message and we'll get your questions answered, get everything sent to you as well. And we look forward to hear your testimonials on how you the products have helped you to get your mitochondria strong, and then how your body fixed itself the natural way as God designed it. Guys, have a wonderful, healthy day.